Today is World Food Day, and this year's focus is on small-scale farmers. About 500 million small family farms are responsible for 80% of all food production in Africa and Asia. So what can be done to support these vital food producers? I'm joined now in the studio by Emily Chale from the Land Access Movement of South Africa and Puvin Mudli, an Associate Country Director from Oxfam. Morning, Ma'am Emily, and morning, Puvin.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much for coming in. Let's start with you first, Puvin. We've seen your report. I mean, your report is actually painting a very dire picture for us in South Africa, you know, let alone the rest of the world. 1 in 4 South Africans go to bed hungry every day. That's about 13 million people in terms of our population currently. I mean, overall, I mean, this is not a good picture at all.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is that a lot of this is hidden. You know, with hunger, it's about people and people's dignity. So not much is spoken about it, but it's, you know, a global phenomenon. I mean, there's 805 million people globally going hungry. But also in South Africa, the bigger challenge is you've got a quarter of the population at risk of also, you know, being in the same situation. But at the same time, I mean, on Tuesday, there was a wealth report that was released globally, showing that there's
That's one by Credit Suisse.
5,000 new dollar millionaires in South Africa, which takes it up to $47,000 millionaires. So it shows the, you know, extent of inequality in South Africa.
So the poverty gap is increasing, or the wealth gap is increasing. The poorer seem to be getting poorer, and the richer and the richer. One of the factors you in your report have said contributes to this, for instance, is a question of land and access to land. And that's where you come in, Ma'am Emily, because your assembly is involved in rural South Africa. How bad is the hunger situation there?
Firstly, I will say hunger is everywhere. And we can't just say hungry for food only. We are hungry for clothes. We are hungry for shelter. We are hungry for education, hungry for information. Those are the critical things. But now we are looking, because this year is the year of the International Family Farming. It's the year of food security in the region of Africa. We are looking at the hunger of food. Families go to sleep, to bed, without a plate. And with LAMOSA as a movement, working together with other sister organizations like Gender Sisi, like Rural Women Movement, National Movement of Rural Women, where we came together to build, you know, to talk with one voice about the issues that we as women and small-scale farmers and also families and poor families, we don't say in the rural only. There are urban poor, where you can move in a shack and find that there is nothing there. And they depend on the social protection that they get from the government.
Okay, now, LAMOSA is the Land Access Movement of South Africa for Rural Women Assembly. What are you actually doing in terms of food production? Let's just focus on that. As you said, the focus this year is on food security.
Right. The focus this year is on food security. We are promoting small-scale farmers, and we have trained them in permaculture design course. It's a 72-hour course. And as LAMOSA, we are working in the 4 old Transvaal provinces. You know them: Northwest, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Gauteng, and part of Eastern Northern Cape. Why? Because of the land issues cross borders.
Okay, are you getting support from government? Where are you getting the support from to make this training possible, to skill these people up? Who's supporting you?
Oh, support we get from our strategic partners, one like Oxfam, which helped us a lot with promoting small-scale farmers, you know, small-scale producers, and also with the training, you know, building that capacity, giving people the skills, and also on monitoring. Recently, we have, they assisted us to do a research, of which we have compiled the report, but we haven't launched it yet.
Okay, Puvin, just to bring in in your report, you've come up with recommendations. Right. I mean, very briefly, if you look ahead now, I mean, we get the picture. Right. I mean, the figures speak for themselves, and Emily's experience is clear, and the efforts are being made. But what are you recommending? What can be done on a sustainable basis to ensure that we come out of this? I mean, this country produces food, and about 30% of it goes to waste.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the key thing is having a very coordinated approach. I mean, you know, the right to food is guaranteed within the Constitution, but we don't have specific legislation, and that's what we're calling for, you know, food security legislation that would ensure we have a coordinated approach across all, you know, government departments. So currently it's very piecemeal.
But it's not only the government that must come in here. Surely the private sector can play a role. I mean, retailers produce a lot of food. We also have commercial farmers.
Yeah, no, certainly. I mean, private sector has a major role to play. Part of it is about, you know, dealing with issues like collusion as one example. You know, you look at bread and milk prices and, you know, how those prices go up. That's part of it, but also it's about companies being responsible. It's about the environment. It's about, you know, not impacting negatively around climate change. So it's a responsibility of private sector, both in terms of, you know, paying taxes, ensuring that prices are reasonable and that people do have access. It's not just access to food, but, you know, nutritious food as well.
Okay, do you think the government as a stakeholder is listening to your recommendations?
You know, I think government has to listen. It's not just Oxfam, it's about this is what people are saying across the country. And I think, you know, it's important to raise this as a national, you know, discussion and debate. And I think, you know, for example, the Mail and Guardian today, there was a story in the Eastern Cape showing one person with a family of 4 living on 6 rand a day. So the Mail and Guardian staff today, for example, are looking at what it's like to live on 6 rand a day.
Our reporters also visited a family, you know, and we had a report earlier, this 71-year-old pensioner who's surviving on 1,300 a month, and she's got grandchildren, and I mean, she can't really pay for anything. Just very briefly, as we wrap up here, Ma'am Emily, do you think your efforts are actually making an impact in what you are doing as LAMUSA, just your assembly and how you see the progress there?
Yes, we have progress. Like I can just take you a little bit back. Yesterday, we were celebrating the International Rural Women's Day, of which we were celebrating it in Joburg at the Greenhouse Environmental Center, right in the it's urban agriculture. And people from Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and even some from KZN uninvited, they just pitched in. It was lovely. And the women, and we're talking about this. They need support from the government. We need extension officers to assist us. They need equipment or inputs. And what we need, moreover, is the indigenous seed, you know, that we grew up with. Not the GMOs. Our maize, 80% in South Africa is GMOs. So they need proper food. What we are promoting as LAMUSA is that when we have these celebrations, we exchange the indigenous seeds. It's a pity I had one in my packet. And we are looking at the right to food. Not only food security, have enough food. We are looking at food sovereignty, the choice that we need this nutritious. We need to feed our families with good and healthy food.
And the prices currently are not helping.
And that's an issue also in the value chain. You know, the system from the farmer, the subsistence farmer is not recognized, and then right up to the market. We don't have access to markets. We can produce, but we don't have.
It looks like a sustainable solution is going to come from an integrated approach, you know. And that's Emily Chale from the Land Access Movement of South Africa and Puvin Mudli, and Assistant Director of Oxfam. Thank you very much for coming in this morning.